Everybody, welcome back to TekWarfare, episode 43 with me, Sid, and apologies for those of you who were expecting to stream this weekend. Yeah, as I explained in a tweet, I was doing a little bit of helping of the wife with decorating her crafts room, which has got an unfortunate name, but I'll not go into that. But between taking the opportunity to do quite a bit of work, I've also got a big pile of shulker boxes which will become apparent more. So all from here we are now fully decorated all the way around to there, including the outside walls, and then we've done the same all the way down here and all the way down here. We've still got to do the inside on here. Bit of the work on this tower. Let me just check there. Yeah, just basically this bit to do out here now. And I've started planning out the wall to here. Now there is, and I've also done some planning of the wall over here. Wall planning. It's great fun. So we've got the walls. We'll level this up. This will all come up to the same level as this over here, giving us plenty of room for the graveyard and church area up here. And down here, this is where I've got a slight issue. So my wall's coming over this way, but that wall is over there. So we're going to have to do something peculiar with this gatehouse. So there's going to be a gatehouse in between these somewhere along the lines. I haven't quite worked it out yet, and I'm not going to be working that out immediately this episode. We're going back to that later. First things first, because we've got a lot of the wall done. As I say, decorating needs to be done, but we're getting there. First things first, it's been a couple of weeks since I last emptied my enchanted book storage and repopulated the library. Now, what I would like to do by the time we have finished building this city completely is have this library of enchanted books shelves, all of these shelves. I want these to be full. I want this to be a complete enchanted book library. Not necessarily sorted. I'm crazy, not insane, but you know, full. So we need to go down and have a look into the fishing farm, which is almost certainly now filled the book storage beyond capacity. This is kind of a guarantee. We just need to get ourselves onto Blink so we can. Punk. No. Thank you, and have that, and that. So we should see that that's full, and that's full. Now I have made a whole load. In fact, let me just do a bunch of these like this, because these are, oops, that's not going to be, okay, we'll go with that for now. So we can jump in here and we can start grabbing, as you know, piles of books, and we can start putting those in. And I say it doesn't really matter what they are, it's more what they aren't. And what they aren't is in my library. So yeah, these big diamond chests, all very not big diamond shulkers actually, all very handy. Very easy for me to migrate books around. So I'm going to empty these. I shall be back with you in a second. Alright, I've just been reorganising my tool belt. I've now got a tools bag which has got all my tooly bits in it, and I've also got my other large backpack which has got my things, and there doesn't appear to be any way to bloody sort these things. That's a shame. But I've got, these are basically the these are the shulkers which we have left over. Strange behaviour. I don't know why it behaves like this. And this is, that actually should, some of this stuff should probably go in the tools thing, like buckets and stuff. I've just kind of very quickly thrown that together. Anyway, it does mean that now I've got slightly less stuff in my tool belt. I enchanted it with Tombstone Soulbound, just so I can't lose it. And we have got 3 of these shulkers pretty much full of books. So the next thing we need to do, why is these guys are not picking up armor from the store? I don't understand that. But there you go. There's a great many things in life I don't understand, and that is one of them. So we should be good to come into here. Basically, just empty these straight into these shelves. And once I've done, hopefully, we'll be a little bit more full. Well, hopefully we'll be, just trying to see if I left any gaps anywhere down here, because I know I did pinch a book from somewhere, didn't I? Or did I? Maybe I didn't. Okay, doesn't matter. We've got a whole load of books put away, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll be straight back with you. All right, we're unloaded, and Butcher requires an axe. I've got a sneaky suspicion my miners have run out of anything to mine. Let's go and have a look. I will get around to doing something today. We're going to work on the gatehouse area. Maybe not finish it. Maybe finish it. We'll see how we go. But first things first. What have you actually got? I mean, they can make their own axe, a wooden axe. So it's actually not that much of an issue. But yeah, I'm not seeing any axes at all. Alright, well, that's simply what we'll do is we'll see about fixing that, and then we'll see. I need to grab some building materials anyway for the area, because I don't have a building materials chest on me at all. But well, the miners should be fine. Have I even got any miners left? Oh damn it, I should have come down in the thing. Alright, well, I have no idea. As with all of these mods where you start playing with NPCs and villagers, they have issues. These guys are doing the thing alright though. Slimy horrible little gits that they are. Ugh. Maggots. It's a bit of an unreasonable phobia, to be honest, but I'm not a big fan of maggots. I'm not a big fan of fishermen who put maggots in the mouth to warm them up as well. That's kind of gross. Yeah, I am not seeing much in the way of miners anywhere. We'll have to do some management, I think, at some point. Right now, however, let me... I mean, it's possible they've all kicked the bucket, you know. We're certainly a lumberjack down. Butcher over there. Really not seeing a miner at all. Okay. Let me pull myself together, and I shall be right back with you. Alright, so we've got some stone and stuff together. We have got, of course, our gatehouse here, which is it's not the perfect model for what we want to do, but it certainly has so many things. So this is, I do want it to be 3 by 3 all the way along on the other side. So this is one side, very simple, but the other side is going to have to be different, because we need to take account for that staggered wall and somehow fit all of that in. And I mean, it doesn't have to make perfect military sense, you know. At the end of the day, this is Minecraft. We're not going to be fighting off hordes of zombies or anything that can, you know, or orcs with scaling ladders or anything like that. But we do need to think our way through. Now, I am very, very tempted to fill this entire flat area in and just level this up a bit. I probably haven't got enough dirt to do that. That's the only issue here, but well, maybe I have. We'll see. So we can definitely get that done, and you know, just level this off. It'll make getting everything in that little bit easier, and we'll do the lighting in a minute. It's not a problem because obviously we're in the distance of the area where they can spawn, so there's no danger of any spawns or anything right now anyway. But we'll get this done, and well, I'll be back again in a second. Alright, so armed with that, we can now get into... I went to grab some more dirt. We've got a massive store of it over in the caves underneath the market area, so that was handy. We are going to want some spruce. We are going to want some stone. And what we are going to do is I am going to take 8 of those and turn them into light blocks, and the rest can be normal. And then we can, from here we can go 1, 2, 3 light block, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3 and spruce. Doesn't really matter that it's going up, and light block and spruce. And then we'll do the same this way. That way it'll give us an idea of where we want to meet these in, and where the walls are going to start and finish and do their usual bit. And then that would be light block. So that's the middle. Right, where to build? Do I want to build it neatly on the edge there? I think I do. I think we'll go from here. So that's could do with something to use as like a drawing block, and I don't think I've got anything that really works for me. Tell you what, let's just try some of this because it's vile. So if this is our middle, and we're going to have the wall's going to come to here, but I think the other thing I would like to do is take out the bulk of this, because it again doesn't lend itself to anything that I want in the building. So again, it's relatively straightforward, but sometimes I don't know whether you've ever watched any modern construction projects, but oh my god, I think I would like that to be I'd like that to be a little bit thicker, if I was being honest. I mean, it doesn't matter, but you know, when you're digging and making holes in things, it's sometimes nice to know that the terrain you're on. I'll probably fill this all in anyway. Anyway, as I was saying, if you ever watched any full-on, you know, major league construction project, it's often amazing. And I'm privileged, lucky that I did work for a civil engineering company as well for a short period of time, so I kind of saw this firsthand. But you probably sat there and you watch these constructions, and they seem to take an absolute bloody age, and they're just running around with bulldozers and diggers and, you know, aggregate and pile drivers and all these really cool big industrial, you know, building tools and machines, but they never seem to get a huge amount done. Hey, that little fella. You know, it always seems to be quite slow going, and then one day something just seems to completely tip the balance, and all of a sudden they go from being really, really slow and not very productive to, I think my lumberjacks have been out here. I'm just just kind of getting a feeling that they've been working this area. Look, yeah, one day something tips, you know, the balance tips over, and suddenly the work just surges forward, and they go from having next to nothing done to having loads done, and you're kind of wondering what's changed, what happened. You know, it's almost a mystical change in the pace of it. And what it is anybody who's in construction will tell you this in more detail than I ever can. It's the ground preparation phase. The actual preparation of the ground is critical before you actually start building. You know, you need to make sure your footings are going to be secure, and you know, you're not going to have any subsidence or, you know, just any general you know, problems. And this is kind of the same thing, ironically. We are preparing the ground for our construction, maybe not with the same degree of technicality, but definitely a thing. And I just think it would look bad with that hill there, and we'll probably kind of blend that around. I'm just going to go and try and find somewhere to put some of this stuff. So getting our land prepared is pretty important. Part of the actual build. So let me get that finished off, and I shall be back with you once we've done this little bit of carving out of the land here. And as I say, I'm very tempted to completely backfill this hole in. Now, I have also got some plans in my mind now for around here. See, this is quite a deep area, and I think it would look brilliant as like a lake. So I'm probably going to completely landscape this area into a massive lake, and we'll have some kind of cataphracts or something spewing water out from here, and I think it'll look pretty good, but it's not for today. Those beetles are so cute. Yeah, let me just do my bit, and I will be right back with you. Alright, I've got a very basic lozenge shape going on here. However, this side is going to have quite a tall tower at the front, and this side is going to have quite a tall tower at the back. Just a simple tower, nothing fancy, but this kind of discrepancy between the two. Why? Why not? Now, I'm trying to remember what size I made the gates as well, because the gates won't be pretty impressive. The reason also, there is a good reason why there's a tall tower at this side, and that is because there's going to be a tall wall there. So that will give us the opportunity to join that in. The door will be here, so that will be good, I think. The door will be there. Let me just double check how that works out. The doors do line up on that. Yes, that's good. So then we can get, somehow we'll bring this in. I have no idea. It will all work out, I'm sure. I'm just trying to remember how tall I made the gates though, because I want to try and keep that kind of sense of scale, ish, give or take, kind of a bit. Now, these gates weren't actually that tall, but I do want whether we want them to be the same, I don't know, but we'll find out. Hang on a second. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they need to be taller if I'm doing them wider. Let's go with taller than that. Let's go with 7. 7 is a good number. I like 7. We'll go with 7. I don't know if I'm going to muck around trying to time the gates. I probably will do. I mean, it's a fairly simple circuit. But we'll go here. So from here we're going to go... should I bring it in 1? I think I should. To a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 and across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and straight down and ouch. And that will give us, yeah, I like that. That kind of works as a scale, I think. We'll do the same at this side over here. So go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, blah, blah, all the way across here. Boo, boo, boo. And I'm almost getting to the point where we can turn on the necromancers. Although I would like a few more guards, I think, before we do that. Now, what do I want to do down here? I think we'll dig this out now. We'll chisel it up as kind of a mixture of dirt blocks, stick a few light blocks in there just for illumination, and that will probably do us, I think. By the way, that is deliberately set one back from that. I am aware of the. I want to experiment a little bit with you know, not 100% asynchronous, you know, symmetry. I want them to be a little bit out from each other. Just an experiment, really. Right, let's have a look. I need my tools. And in my tools, I need my chisel. And I can put my tools away. The chisel is probably something that should go straight on the tool belt because I use it so much. It's not even funny. And we'll take 1, 2, 3 of those into 3 dirt blocks. That can go like that. And we'll put one. Let's have a look. One there. We'll have one at that side and one in the middle. Why not? Perfect. And then we can just get in there and plaster these around, you know, as we see. Oh, fit. And just make this look kind of worn and well travelled. Let me take that one up. I don't like that. That one there. There we go. And then we can chisel this over to something else, and so on and so forth, and yada yada. And then we'll have, once this is all in, we'll stick the 2 doors, the gates in, and we'll start to get a feel for the structure. I don't know, sometimes you start off and you start off with a skeleton, and then you refine it and you refine it and you tweak it and you refine it a little bit, and eventually you get something that actually bears a resemblance to kind of what you had in your head when you were doing it. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes it comes back and it doesn't bear any resemblance to what you had in your head, but you still like it. It's a very strange process, the building process. Well, certainly for me, anyway. I almost did one of them. There we go. Lovely. Perfect. And then we can jump over here and let us get some. I did a gate and a portcullis again. Technically speaking, the portcullis should be in there, and the gate should be on the outside. Can I get you up there? Yeah, and bang. That was the gate, actually. Other way around. It should have been the other way around, but it doesn't matter. I quite like either. So we'll do a Z. Give me a Z. Give me a Z. Bang. So the gatehouse is starting to take shape. Now what I need to do now is to build and hammer some blocks down, and this is just going to be nothing fancy or pretty. It's just going to be, let's get the basic blocks down and see how we go. I'll get that done and I'll be back within a second. Alright, so a quick update. I wanted to bring this wall in so I could match up this side here. So we pop down the spruce and the top caps on there. Now we do need to, we can't leave these because these are all spawnable on the top now, and you know, obviously those guys are very tasty to zombies, so we do need to light all of this, but we're getting there. We are getting a structure. It's, again, very primitive. Doesn't have a great deal going for it right now, but yeah, you come back in 1,000 years, it'll be, no, it will be there. We just need to get as much of this done as possible. And go 1, 2, and 1, 2, and there should be a brick there, so that should be all good. Now obviously we still have issues up here, but we'll come back to that. You can see there those are spawnables, so that needs to be taken account of. But yeah, it takes, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will this village be. But I think the next thing I need to do is definitely just get the base structures in. Now I haven't decided, I don't know exactly how I want to do this side yet, so I'll worry about that wall later. But we've got the same kind of thing. We come in and we just connect in straight through that wall there. It'll look fine. Yeah, let me get this wall in. Back in a sec. Alright, I'm getting kind of a structure. There's going to be a murder hole here. This is, I still haven't got a way up. Let's just levitate my way up at the moment. Start of a tower there and there, opposite sides, so the lozenges are almost like inverted. And I'm just trying to get some crenellations going here, which is easier. Yeah, that's not going to play nicely, is it? Okay. Let's go there. I don't know whether that's the right way around or not. Problem is you can't really see from underneath. We'll check. So I needed some slabbage. We'll do a few of those, and then we can get that's a slab. Now if I go, that's going to be, I want that to be a block, not a slab, because it'll look silly otherwise. So if I were to come in here like this and go block and block, these, I'm going to leave them as they are, I think. Slab, block, 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 and block. If I have a quick look here, we can take out yeah, this one, and we can use this one I made, which is a lit version of it. That's nice. Now we also do need to be aware that we are leaving dark spots behind us in places, but we'll sort those as we go. And there's some in there, and a bit there. But as we get this, we'll kind of fill this in all the better, and we can just jump there, and there. They look a bit peculiar, but I'm going to leave them as they are, just because they are actually stairs, so I can't do them easily upside down. I could, I suppose, chisel some of this, but that's going to look weird from beneath, so yeah, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, really. But this is kind of the first initial phase. Now whether I put a roof on, I'm definitely going to be putting roofs on these once they've got those up. They'll obviously have arrow slits in them. Let's have a, so we've got, that's what we've got going on here. I did, let me just get you going. I did get some of this going, so we can, no, that's not what I want to work at all. So I'm going to work double-sided, because obviously this is not that kind of structure, but I'll just use the dirt. That'll do. A scaffold. I could of course use scaffold. That would also do acceptably a scaffold, but we can get the older gargoyles in places. That will work. Obviously need arrow slits, we need all of that doing. This is kind of going along here nicely. This will of course be oops, that. Now we're not going to get this finished this episode, which is good because it gives me something to do on stream. Sometimes having the plans laid out for streams are a little bit more difficult than others, so we still need to do something with this. We've got a gargoyle in features in there. Yeah, getting there. It is kind of there. We need to do the crenellations on this side. I will probably put a gargoyle either side of here as well, just for because I've got them more than anything. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to go and try and get a screenshot just for progress purposes, but let's try from over this way. Yeah, that's... Yeah, these lumberjacks are bloody useless, aren't they? Worst staff ever. Let's just try. Now, how do we? What do we think to that? That kind of works. Yeah. So we're getting there. We're almost enclosed, and of course, being almost enclosed is important. As I say, we'll bring the path out this way. I am pretty certain. You know what? Let's just have a look. If I go to the journey map and go to night view, it is almost. If we just run down here, let me take some of these out, because if I'm going to turn this into a lake, the water level is definitely going to be kind of round about here-ish, looking at the terrain. And even though this is the boundary, we can continue working there, can't we? But, oh dear, bit of lag there. But it will give us a kind of a feel for what we can do in the area, how we can utilize this space decoratively, and because most of this build is, well, all of this build is decorative. It's but it's no surprise to know that my opinion on decorative building is Minecraft is about the building. It's not about certainly modded. I get annoyed when people sit there and say that modded Minecraft is all about getting to these amazing machines that allow you to do all this stuff, and it's like, it's not really. To me, all the amazing machines are all to allow you to do this stuff. You get these quarries to allow you to generate huge amounts of stone and materials and building materials, so you can build interesting things. It's not just to end up and sit there and say, look at my wonderful barrel full of 75 billion cobblestone. Although there is a certain element of with that in some of the skyblock packs, where the objectives are to make an octuple compressed cobblestone or whatever, but for the most part, the actual, to me, purpose of building all of these things is to build and to facilitate more building. But I think we can definitely do something interesting with all of this space, and maybe even over here. I don't know exactly. I need to work out where the Y level that I want to kind of flood to. It's going to be a pain to flood it, of course, but that's fine. I can live with a bit of pain now and again, and there's not that much of a problem. What we got down here? Please don't be a ravine. You're not a ravine. Excellent. So we backfill all of this and maybe even flood it. That's fine. Yeah, that's kind of a goal, and I think that's what we're going to aim for on the stream. On the next stream is to try and finish this gatehouse. Maybe get these walls around here done I'm not too worried about the fact that these walls are not finished. But if we can get the bulk of the walls laid out and where we want them, then that'll be a huge bonus. But I think that'll look good as a big old lake. So we'll kind of pursue that. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. Didn't get as much as I would have liked to have done. This is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Surprisingly. And a perfect end to the episode. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. And I will see you soon. And bye for now.